N'Keal Harry was an absolute steal at 32. What are you guys talking about? Forget Tom Brady's passing numbers. He's the GOAT because he was the best punter in the NFL. I take Johnny Hekker over Patrick Mahomes to be my quarterback any day. Welcome to the No Punt Intended podcast with your host, Parody07.
Let's do a mock draft, boys.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, so big surprise, LB's up first.
Oh.
We got the Carolina Panthers, round 1, pick 1.
All right, I'll get into why my reason here. I'm going CJ Stroud over Bryce Young. In my opinion, those are the only two first-round talents at quarterback that I would entertain drafting. And of the two, again, like I know I said I'm not a big fan of Ohio State quarterbacks, and I might sound like a hypocrite. But this time around, Stroud just seems to have a different feel. And again, that could be totally wrong, and I might eat my words in 2 years. Or we might not draft him, it doesn't matter. But the reason I go with Stroud over Bryce Young is just based on the situation of the Carolina Panthers and how much they've basically kicked out the door for this pick, there's less of a risk, in my opinion, of CJ Stroud not working out due to injury because of a bigger frame. And I think from that standpoint, you minimize your risk in terms of losing a guy to injury. You know, there's an old saying, the best ability is availability.
That's true. That's part of what made Brady good.
Exactly. I mean, what good is your guy at first overall if he's bummed up on the sideline with a
bad knee or something?
Bad knee, something bad happens, long-term injury. So I think from that standpoint, he's, in my opinion, less of a risky pick. And again, I don't think his style of play is risky. I think he's a good pure passer. We saw in the Georgia game, he can compete at a high level. He willed that team almost to a victory. He, I would say, had his best game of the season. He lit up Georgia. And we got to see his athleticism. He used his legs quite a bit more in that game when he had to, which I like. Obviously, we went from Cam Newton, who I have nothing but great things to say, and he made, so many fond memories for me and many Carolina Panthers fans. Again, hate to see how that ended up. But, he was a freak athlete, freak talent, freak human being, 6'5", 245, 260, somewhere in there in his career. And I know his style of play was different, where he ran around and took bigger shots. But again, arguably the biggest guy on the field, and he didn't make it in the NFL. I don't think he had a 10-year career as a true starter.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, if you were to take Bryce Young, he has freak athleticism. He's a good distributor of the football. He's really cerebral, which is great. And the height, I don't care about the height. It's not Drew Brees. It lit it up. There's guys there's just as many stud guys at 5'10" as there are 6'7" starting quarterbacks. The height is kind of irrelevant now you see in the league. Just his build. He's not a Russell Wilson. He's not a sturdier build. He looks like me. And I couldn't go out and survive 17 games in the season. So from that standpoint, I think taking Bryce Young is a risk on his availability long term. Because like I said earlier, for this pick to really work out, one, you gotta have to have performance. Obviously, you gotta have a guy play at a high level, but he also has to be around and he has to play for you. There's no good who you take at one if they're not on the field. So I think from a risk management standpoint, I would go with Stroud. And like I said, you're getting a ball player. It's not like the talent's not much different, I don't think. I know they played SEC and Big Ten stuff like that. Yeah. It's different competition. Yeah, I understand that. But I would go with Stroud. That's kind of my bold pick. I don't think that'll happen. I would like if it were to. Obviously, whoever they pick, I want it to work out. Obviously, I want them to be successful, but that's kind of what I'm going with at number 1.
Nice. All right, CJ Stroud to the Carolina Panthers at number 1. And let's just take a look at some of the other picks that have happened here. Bryce Young went to the Houston Texans.
Okay.
Tyree Wilson went to Arizona.
Not 3.
Yep. Indianapolis, skipping out on a quarterback, going Christian Gonzalez. My favorite player in this draft.
Yeah.
Will Anderson slides to the Seahawks. Devon Witherspoon going to Detroit.
It's interesting because Witherspoon, I see like the Patriots picking.
Yeah, and I personally think he's more of a J.C. Jackson type,
Okay.
kind of a ball hawk, interception guy, not as much of a lockdown guy. And if we're going to pick somebody in the first round, I want him to be locked down. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's Joey Porter, that's Deontay Banks from Maryland, and that's Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Skronsky goes to Chicago. Carter, I don't know why just now, but it's funny that Carr is in his name.
Yeah.
Joey Porter going to Philadelphia. I think that's a good pick for them. Darius Slay still over there, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because I just heard somebody make a comment about.
Yeah, he resigned. Darius Slay resigned the Eagles.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And then now Matty P's over there, and Darius has got a beef with him. Jackson Smith and Jigba going to Tennessee. I love that.
Yep.
Van Ness going to Houston, and then Broderick Jones, one of my favorite picks, going to the Jets. Mm. So I'm not gonna lie, for New England, this is about worst case scenario. The top three tackles are gone. The top 3 corners are gone. Mm. So what do we do here at 14? We got Bijan Robinson, who has had some connections there. Mm-hmm. I think it's not the best pick. Mm-hmm. Nolan Smith, an edge guy. A lot of people think New England ought to go that direction. Because of this run on corners, part of me wants to just go ahead and pick here and go ahead and pick Deontay Banks. And I think if this was New England, this situation, I really think that's what they would end up doing. There's another version of this where they trade down. And I kind of feel like that would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see if I can get a trade done here. All right, let's see if we can work something out here. New England, and let's trade with, I think 19 is the Lions. Where's the Lions here? Detroit, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's Denver.
Detroit had a bunch of their players suspended just recently.
Yeah,
they did.
R.I.P. So we'll see if we can get
first.
Yeah, and then they're first. So we're gonna try to get a 3rd round pick out of this.
Okay, nice.
All right, so now let's take a look and see what happened. I saw one of the guys I wanted to go, so I think Deontay Banks went.
Yeah.
At 2 picks ahead of us, and the pick before us, which would have been who I picked, is Darnell Wright, Tennessee tackle. I can't wait anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and look down and see if I can find Anton Harrison, Oklahoma Sooner, left tackle. And we're going to be putting old Trent Brown back on the right side, where I think is his natural position. Anton Harrison is going to play left side guard Mac Jones's blind side for hopefully the next 15 years. But that's where I'm going to go with on this. Another popular pick here is DeJuan Jones. DeJuan Jones would be specifically a right tackle. He's from Georgia. And I would like... is he from Georgia? It's either Georgia or Ohio State. I'm blanking on it. But I think they go left tackle here.
Okay.
I think premium position.
Yeah. Yep.
And even though this is what makes the most sense, it's probably not what's going to happen. But this is where I'm going with this.
Okay.
All right. So we've got... let's move up here. I'm going to reject...
Yeah, reject all the trades.
Yeah.
We can't trade out of the first round with all of our fans there in Kansas City.
All right. So it's a couple guys that have gone since then. Michael Mayer goes to Cincinnati.
Okay.
Bijan Robinson to Dallas. That's another one that I've seen a lot of. Him and Pollard. Yeah.
Pollard, yeah.
Anthony Richardson goes to the New York Giants.
Ooh.
That's
They just re-signed Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
For an extension. That is not going to happen.
No, you never know. You never know. You know. Was there anyone else earlier before that or no? The Vikings pick Will Levis. My bold prediction.
Is Jahmyr Gibbs still on the board?
He is still on the board.
And the Giants were allegedly going to take Richardson over him.
Yeah.
Although, I mean,
if you just signed Danny Dimes, that's not happening.
Probably not.
But
probably not. They probably go tight end, I think.
Yeah.
Dalton
They're
Kincaid,
gonna-
Michael Mayer, something like that.
Yeah, they're gonna help Danny. They think they think he can win. They got him to the playoffs. I think Saquon's a free agent, but I think he'll resign. If you hadn't,
I think they've got
they'll have something in place to keep him around.
the
Franchise tag. Or
yes,
something?
yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, I think he'll be a New York Jet or
Okay.
Giant. I mean,
Okay.
excuse me, but yeah,
I do like the idea of Michael Mayer next to Darren Waller over there. And
That would be dirty.
That would be nice.
well, yeah. Because so it looks like Jay Flowers is still available,
He
but
is.
I'm not going to pick him because I'm going to pick Dalton Kincaid. We're going to pick a tight end that's going to replace Travis Kelce 3 years from now.
Wow.
We're going to have two good tight ends on the Kansas City Chiefs. Why pick a wide receiver when you could have two really good tight ends? Imagining trying to be a defense, trying to go against that.
That's
trying to
wild.
cover Travis Kelce and Dalton Kincaid, who has a lot of the same characteristics in a lot. Like he's very good pass catching. I think having him under Travis Kelce for a couple of years will just make him even more better.
Yeah.
And Travis Kelce's contract's up in 2 years, and he's going to be like 35, 36. I don't know if he's going to resign again.
Yeah.
And might as well just do it now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for them. Kansas City's in one of those situations where I think they are still in a position to take best player available.
Yeah.
And I like that pick. That makes a lot of sense. So,
And in all honesty, that'd be one of the only tight ends I would have picked at this early. Like Mayer, I like him. He's a lot better of a blocker. He's
agree.
more of a blocker guy, which is not exactly how Kansas City uses their tight ends as much. And you got Darnell Washington. He's not really proven. He's just really big. Which is like, hey, that's a plus. Like, there's no one as big as him, right?
he had the combine of all combines.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like his combines and his
measurables.
are amazing. But if you look at his statistics, like in games, they're okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to work.
He's behind Michael Bowers though.
Yeah.
So that's like, is that
I think it's Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers?
But
okay.
I think like Dalton Kincaid is like the person, if it's in the first round, I would pick. If it fell this far.
Fair enough.
Darno maybe second round.
Yeah.
But first round.
If he's available, you can take him.
All right, now we've got let's see if there's any. Kelly Ringo goes to Houston. That's a great pick. I like that a lot. DeJuan Jones is from Ohio State, goes to the Los Angeles Rams.
Ohio State.
That's true. Hendon Hooker goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. I like that a lot. The idea of Hendon Hooker sitting behind Jimmy for a little bit. If he goes when he goes down, that'll be good for him. And McDaniel's over there calling the plays, pulling the strings. Josh Jacobs, the Russian leader from last year. A lot to like about that pick. All right, you've got yourself an embarrassment of riches here at the top of the second round, my guy. What do you think here? We got Jahmyr Gibbs, running back from Alabama, the undisputed number 2 running back in this draft.
Yep.
Kind of an all-around guy. I would call him McCaffrey light. I know you got Miles Sanders there. Darnell Washington, dog.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say.
Like there's not going to be anyone bigger than him on the field.
You got an embarrassment of riches at corner. What are you thinking?
I'm going to stick with offense. One, I'm partial to the offense, being a former QB. That's just kind of my wheelhouse. I think if this were the situation, Carolina's in a great spot. I think there's plenty of guys that you just mentioned that would be on their board that they'd be thrilled to get. I think, obviously not being in their building and not knowing what their philosophy is and what they want to get out of their offense is hard to speculate on that. But I think what makes the most sense from an outsider looking in is you get somebody who can help your rookie quarterback. You get another weapon. The offensive line's been rebuilt. So last year, which was a huge issue a couple years ago. So you got help there. You drafted your starting left tackle last year. So your O-line looks good. They just got Hayden Hurst at a tight end in free agency from the Bengals. They signed Miles Sanders, running back. They let go of McCaffrey, let go of DJ. So maybe they go Jahmyr Gibbs here just as another weapon that you can kind of plug everywhere. I don't think they will do that, but I wouldn't be surprised necessarily if they did. Just philosophy-wise, if you're, he creates a lot of tough matchups, I think. If you have Miles Sanders, you can run a lot of two-back stuff.
Yeah.
If you run a shotgun, run the spread offense, you could get you get really either of those guys in the slot, which is, I think, what Carolina didn't do enough with McCaffrey, that they hopefully could, do that with these guys. I think, we saw it at Alabama with Jahmyr Gibbs. You can kind of play him anywhere. Obviously, that's the college game. Transition to NFL is way different. So who knows? So he'd be a guy. Darnell Washington would be, I think, a good addition. Not as much as a threat in terms of pass catching ability, but if you want to max protect, you want 2 tight end sets, you want to keep your quarterback upright, you want to move bodies. The dude's a bulldozer. If your identity is to be run heavy, which Carolina's been notorious for in the past, and that's when they've been at their best. They've had 2 running backs all the way back to D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart days, double trouble.
Yes, sir.
Then you had Jonathan Stewart, McCaffrey. Then last year you had, for a little bit, you had Deontay Foreman, McCaffrey, and Chuba. So you had kind of a 3-headed monster. Chuba being more of a stand-in guy when you need him. So I wouldn't be surprised with that.
Josh Downs, UNC guy too.
That's another guy. UNC, I think he's a great talent. And again, you're getting a solidified slot guy. My only hesitation why they wouldn't take him is because they just signed Thielen in their slot.
I think he's a different player, but I
agree.
I understand what
I
you're
just
saying.
don't know if they would, in their eyes, be thinking they're doubling up on the same position. They signed DJ Chark from the Lions.
I see that as more of an overlap.
Yeah, so
Thielen.
If it were me, I'd be happy with any 3 of those guys. I would hope they go offense. It's a tough position to be in because you have 3 guys who can benefit you day one.
Yeah.
But with your free agent signings, it makes it hard to determine who they go with there. But if they're all there, personally, I would go Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
If nothing else, you have another running back you can hand the ball off to.
Yep.
You can take some of that load off the quarterback, whether it's Bryce or CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Or you can line him up in the slot and have an outlet, get him mismatched. You could have him and Sanders on the field at the same time with Hayden Hurst and Chark and all these other weapons.
Yeah.
So I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the pick here. He provides a lot of security for a start. Assuming the first round pick's a quarterback and he's going to start for us, he provides a lot of safety and security for that, as well as just benefits the offense in general. So I'd say I'd go with Jahmyr Gibbs with the second rounder.
That's a nice pick, man. I like where you're going with this. Yeah. And even if, for whatever reason, if the Panthers end up picking Bryce Young, then you're just reuniting 2 guys.
Yeah, exactly right. You got guys with familiarity, which, obviously it's a little bit different than quarterback wide receiver that we saw with Joe and Jamar up in Cincinnati. But that makes that Bryce Young, if it is Bryce Young, that makes it more tolerable for me, at least. I know some people are super high on Bryce Young, which, look, he could be the next Drew Brees. You never know.
Yeah.
I would have concerns, not from the height standpoint, but from his just stature.
Mm-hmm.
It's a violent league. It's there's no guarantees even if you take Richardson, who's probably, or Levis, who are 2 freak guys. Stature wise, frame wise, they're over 6'3", 230 plus pounds. There's no guarantee that they make it.
Yeah.
But again, if they go Bryce Young at 1, I would be that much more inclined to take Gibbs at their second round pick, just to keep those guys together, help each other out, especially starting Q. So that would be great. That'd be a good duo to bring in the building.
Mm-hmm. We'd love to see it. I'm in an interesting situation here. Darnell fell.
Yep.
Josh Downs fell.
Yep.
We got the Azuma, the edge guy, fell. Yep. Ojulari fell. There's a lot of guys here.
Yep.
A lot of guys. I'm going to look at a corner real quick and see who's available. DJ Turner, 5'11", burner guy. Michigan, New England's pulled from Michigan a bunch of times. But we don't need that burner guy. We need somebody who's got some size, somebody to match up here. Julius Brents from Kansas. Kansas State, excuse me.
Yeah.
6'3".
Yep. He's
210.
Yep.
And one of the fastest corners in the draft.
Yep.
Almost a carbon copy of Tariq Woolen from that went to the Seahawks. But I'm not going there.
Oh.
I'm going to my old stomping grounds.
All right.
I'm going Tyreek Stevenson.
Okay.
From cornerback from Miami. He is one of my draft crushes. He's one of these guys that just seems to get overlooked for some reason. He was a lockdown guy for them. And even though we don't need necessarily that lockdown guy, although it's nice to have in a lot of the New England Super Bowl teams, Ty Law, Darrell Revis, Stephon Gilmore, all of them had a lockdown guy. Yeah. I think Tyreek, with the coaching that New England provides, has that ability to become that guy, and he's already got the physical stature. He's a tad stiff, just a tad stiff, but that can be coached.
Yeah.
That can be coached. And I'm not going to lie, this cornerback class is probably one of the best, if not the best, of the decade.
Corner, yeah.
And I think Tyreek in a lot of other drafts would be a top 15 pick. And I don't know why he's getting slept on. Miami players just aren't what they used to be, I guess. But I like Tyreek Stevenson here. Even the draft simulator is not all that enthralled with that pick, considering that Julius Brents was there, Darnell Washington was there, Josh Downs was there. I would have been very okay with Darnell Washington. What I'm really doing is respecting the board. I really don't think he's going to be there. I think he's going to be gone in the 30s, high 20s, somewhere in there. So I think somebody would trade up over us to get him before he would fall to us. Yeah. So I'm doing what's called just respecting the board, just letting it happen here. We're going to go ahead and sim to the Chiefs and reject all those. All right.
Who we got here? Go to all.
Let's go to all here. Yep. So this is round 2, pick 63.
It looks like someone took Uzuma.
Yes.
Because that's who I was really wanting to kick, a K-State local guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. We don't need a linebacker really that badly. We brought in... Well, we have Willie Gay, we have Nick Bolton, and we bought in Tranquil. Like our linebacker group is pretty stacked. Go over to wide receiver really quick.
Cedric Tillman is the other Tennessee guy. He's a kind of a Quentin Johnson type. Yeah. Rashee Rice is 6'1". He's basically like he's just a good wide receiver. He's more of a slot guy, but they move him around. Nathaniel Dell is another slot guy, really light, kind of ran slower than expected at the combine. Marvin Mims is one of my favorites. He's I forget what the award is called, but the best wide receiver in the nation. He's been runner-up twice. He's a good player.
Go to edge really quick.
Sure.
Because I think
Derek Hall is another good player. I like him a lot.
Yeah, no, because if there's one thing, we lost Frank Clark, which was fine with me. He's getting a lot of money. We've got a couple good players on our line, but Steve Spagnuolo, our defensive coordinator, loves having as many edge guys as he can.
That's true.
He's known for putting in 4 defensive ends, just having them run instead of any defensive tackles. So I would personally probably trying to think which one would be a better fit between those top 2 guys, between BJ.
Ojulari, right?
Yeah.
And
how's your secondary look? I saw Jordan Battle from Alabama, the safety, still on the board.
Yeah.
And if we know anything about Alabama DBs, is they usually hit.
Yeah.
Nick Saban coaches those guys up well.
Yeah. Well, so
they're usually a safe pick. They might not be the best pick, but they are safe and they can generally be an immediate impact and contributor to your defense.
We're not going to talk about Cyrus Jones. That I actually predicted that New England has a newsletter that they put on their website, and I predicted that they would take Cyrus Jones in the second round. They took him in the second round. I was so excited, and the only thing he did for us is get a pick 6 in the preseason, and then we traded him away for nothing. What are you thinking, Hound?
I'm thinking Derek Hall. BJ is in more of a 3-4.
Yeah.
And that's not really what we run. I think Derek Hall is just a better athlete. And, we're not asking him to be the main guy because we've already got, Chris Jones. We've got George Karlaftis already. Mm-hmm. So we just need somebody who's athletic who can be that third guy.
Yeah.
Who's only going to be on one person. It's not going to be double teamed. It's just going to be one guy, and I think Derek Hall has the athleticism to do that.
Excellent. I'm going to pause this real quick. Where are we at here? So you got Campbell that went linebacker from Iowa. Zach Pickens is a defensive lineman. Jonathan Mingo from Mississippi. I seen him drafted in the first round.
Oh, interesting.
A couple in a mock not that long ago. I think he's more of a late third round, early fourth round guy. But he's from Ole Miss. You know, he's getting all the what's the guy from Seattle? DK Metcalf comparisons. Yeah. I don't see it. But he's got a couple like really big, nice catches on film, but it's against lesser competition.
Right.
Denver has got picks 67, 68. New England picks at 76.
Ooh.
I'm going to trade.
Oh.
We picked up number 81 from Detroit in our previous draft. One up. Oh, thank you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to trade see if they'll take 117, or one of our 3 fourth-round picks to trade up.
Yeah.
They accepted it. We're not going to accept any other things. And I'm going with my bold prediction, like I said before. We're going Marvin Mims, wide receiver from Oklahoma. He's going to be our Kendrick Bourne replacement. The only 2 wide receivers on the New England roster past this season is Thornton and Juju, and that's it. Everybody else is gone. Parker's gone, and the other guy's gone. Kendrick Bourne is gone. Marvin Mims is going to be kind of a replacement, and if for whatever reason some of those other guys don't work out, he can kind of step in and be that guy. I also have the next pick. So we have 81 here. I'm a little tempted to double up
On wide receivers?
on corners.
Ooh.
But Jordan Battle is here.
Jordan Battle?
I really like this idea. I don't think there's an edge guy available because New England loves their edge guys as well.
Yeah.
The other options, we go Henry To'o, linebacker,
I like that name.
Alabama linebacker. But for whatever reason, New England is just in love with this backup linebacker we paid a bunch of money to. Blanking on his name. We got Jawan Bentley as our starter, and then Jelani Tavai, former Detroit Lion, pick of Matt Patricia. The other thing is I could go Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft?
I prefer Sam Laporta if he was here. I don't see him here. I'm gonna go ahead and go Jordan Battle.
Okay.
I like the idea of him not being a 1-for-1, but adding more size and more speed to that room there. You have the next pick at 93 LB. We're going to just reject these, and if we can still offer a trade if you decide you want to trade out. But a few guys here: Tucker Kraft, tight end, kind of a receiving tight end. Sidney Brown's a really good safety. Rashee Rice, again, is like a 6'1", kind of just your standard receiver. His makeup kind of reminds me of just like just a standard, just good wide receiver. He was number 1 for SMU for years. Dell is a little bit undersized, but he's another slot guy. There's another linebacker. Darius Rush from South Carolina is another slept-on corner that I really, really like. I think he'd be a high second-round pick in any other draft. Cam Smith, his teammate, went in the first round here. What are you thinking here, bud?
I'm definitely thinking defense. Taking a corner is enticing, just considering the recent injury history we have at that position. We got J.C. Horn. He broke his arm late in the season. Then we had Dante Jackson out of LSU, another former, I think he's first round pick for us back a couple years ago out of LSU. He tore his Achilles, so we are definitely hoping everything goes as planned and we get those guys back healthy, because we really haven't had both of them on the field healthy for a full season since they've been in the league. There's just been an injury bug plaguing our secondary. So corner is tempting. I believe, though, our defense is switching to a 3-4. And Shaq Thompson's getting a little bit of age on him, although we just re-signed him, which I really in favor of that. We got Brian Burns off the edge. We got We'll have Derek Brown in the middle with some other guys, and we made some other free agent pickups this season in interior D line. So my gut's telling me to go Henry To'oto. That's how you pronounce that name. The linebacker out of Alabama. Again, for one simple fact that it's an Alabama player. They're coached very well. They're playing in the SEC, playing hard-nosed football. It's as like the NFL as you can get. Obviously, nothing is the NFL but the NFL. But again, you're playing the best of the best. You're playing in a great scheme. You're going to be well coached. I think you can come in and have an impact, and just provides depth, especially with our first 2 picks being offense. I think just adding depth at defense. And again, this is assuming that J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson are going to come back healthy.
Yeah.
That Jeremy Chinn's going to stay healthy. We signed Von Bell, safety from Cincinnati in the offseason.
That's true. I forgot about that.
So we've got some pieces that we've added in free agency. I just think this complements the defense well.
I agree.
We always had a hard-nosed defense. We've always had great linebacker duos. I mean, Luke Kuechly is the GOAT in my opinion. I'm 100% biased, but for me, he will go down as a GOAT. Yeah. Thomas Davis, dog.
Love him.
Shaq Thompson was the third guy there for a while, and now he's obviously our starting stud. So I think adding a linebacker at the pick is a good safe pick. I think it'll have just a good overall impact on the defense, and I think that's something that they're always looking to improve.
Excellent.
Especially in the NFC South, where teams are likely to run the ball a little bit more. That's just kind of the identity, at least in years past in the division, with the Saints and the Falcons and the Bucks. So
yeah, you got Algier over there and Patterson over there in Atlanta. You got Fournette over there in Tampa. And
Kamara down there.
Yeah.
You got guys. You got to stop. I know it's not a high octane division. It's not super littered with studs, but it can be a quiet division, but super competitive, and that's what I'm expecting this year. So I think that just provides good depth. Yeah, that will be just a really good long-term investment at that position.
Yeah. Yep. Rashee Rice is still on the board for you there, dog.
Well, that's what I was debating between Rashee Rice or Nathaniel Dell, because they're both very different.
Yes, they are.
Dell is your speedster. You can stop and move on a dime. He's the guy you would move, like you'd have doing, fake outs and screens and having a motion. Yeah. While Rice has great body control. Yeah. Right? He can pick anything. And I think at this moment, because we've lost McCole Hardman, and it looks like we're not going to really use Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and we might not sign McKinnon. We need somebody who Andy Reid loves doing to motion in the backfield. And I think that's more of Adele's specialty. I know that's a little bit of a I don't know if a lot of other teams would pick Dell over Rice. But I think for the Chiefs, we've got a lot of people. We have Tony. Yeah. We've got and in my dream scenario, if we have Dalton Kincaid, we've got possession guys. Yeah. We have them. What we need is a speedster and someone to motion. A lot, and I think that's going to be Dell.
Okay,
a little bit of a soccer.
I don't know if I consider him the speedster. He's definitely quick.
That's what. And I'm not meaning like per se like go downfield. Yeah, you have MVS for that, but you need somebody who's quick in the short field here. Okay, that can get your defenses off balance, and that's what we need because we don't have that right now. And Reid loves motioning players, like he loves doing all this pre-snap stuff, and we don't really have anyone like that because of who we've lost.
Okay, well, Nathaniel Dell then to the Kansas City Chiefs. Look out, Sky Moore.
Hey, it ranked it an A+.
It did.
See, yeah, they love me. They love my picks.
All right, so New England's got pick 107 here. Darius West is still on the board. That's a tempting pick. Jamie Robinson. If I didn't pick Jordan Battle, Jamie Robinson would be really, really tempting here. Jaden Reed's another good wide receiver I like, but we took Mims. I'm looking to where nobody in New England wants me to look, and that is at running back. Let's see what we got here. Looks like my boy Kendre Miller's already gone.
From TCU.
Yeah, he's already gone. I'm curious where he went. Man, he went early here. Dwayne McBride from UAB Went to Miami. Oh,
Miami.
I'm not a fan of that. As a Miami fan, that sucks.
Yeah, in the division. Oof.
Yeah,
that division's being it's an arms race in the AFC East right now.
I agree. Yeah, it's tough. I'm gonna look at tight end, see what we got. Oh, we got Zach Kuntz from Old Dominion. That's somebody that me and LB have seen in person.
Yep.
He's a dog, dude. First time we saw him, we're like, man, that guy's huge. I think he's 6'7".
Yeah.
At least he's a giant. But I think he's just another version of Mike Gesicki. And that's not really what I think we need. I think what we're needing right now is kind of that consistent kind of all-around guy. I look at Cameron Latu from Alabama, going to the well again.
Yeah.
But we haven't picked a Michigan guy yet.
No.
So we're going to do that. We're going Luke Schoonmaker from tight end from Michigan. I like he's kind of just a poor man's Hunter Henry with a little bit better blocking. And I can take that. So, because we lose both of those tight ends after this year, I think adding Luke this year would be a help. And then there's supposed to be another strong tight end class next year. Yeah. Obviously, Bauer's leading that charge, but I think that would be a good thing. I think ideally they end up with Sam Laporta. I'm pretty sure he's from Iowa, and I think that would be the best case scenario for us if we don't take Darnell.
Yeah.
But I think we'd have to trade up for Darnell. So I'm going Luke Schoonmaker. Now we have 114, and that'll be LB for the Panthers. Let's see what we got. Zach Kuntz still on the board for you guys. Jatarius Martin, a bunch of good, decent safeties. Jaden Reed is kind of like... in my opinion, he's not as quick, but he's fast.
Yeah.
Another 6'1" guy. Great tape. I love his tape. When I say tape, I mean highlights on YouTube. But he just looked really consistent. I know you already took Jahmyr Gibbs, but Abenakanda from Pittsburgh's a good guy. Yep. Blue Kelly is a slot guy from Stanford, a little shorter, but he's good. Xavier Hutchinson's a jumbo slot. Byron Young's a defensive lineman. Chase Brown, running back, is a good running back, kind of like your standard, your 5'10", 210, that sort of thing. What are you thinking here, buddy?
Well, I just realized from the last pick I could have potentially picked 3 straight Alabama guys, so I will not be going back to the tried and true Crimson Tide for this pick. That's also, obviously depending on if they take Stroud or Bryce Young at 1. Yeah, nonetheless, if this were to be actual real life, we'd have 2 guys at least on roster from Bama. Nothing wrong with that, but we're going somewhere else. We're gonna go that slot corner.
Kibu Kelly from Stanford.
Yeah, we're going with the Stanford guy. We're going to get, this I think will play nice with that 3-4 change up. We'll get more athletic guys on the field. And again, that just provides more depth. We've had the injury bug in the secondary. And who knows, we could have setbacks with J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson. So I think and those guys are true outside guys.
Yeah.
J.C. Horn's a stud. He's a lockdown guy. He's been injured really the last 2 years in a row. He broke his foot and now his arm, so he hadn't played a full year, and he was a first-round pick for us. So there's no guarantee that he stays healthy, and if that's the case, it's a next man up. It's a brutal league, so I think that's the best play for Carolina, just stacking up more weapons on defense just to kind of complement and provide depth where we seem to be running thin in years past just due to injury.
And he's got to be smart, from Stanford.
That's what I'm saying. You would think, right? Like, who knows if the stereotype's true, but that's kind of the common sense reasoning behind that one.
All right. Well, now we got Kansas City here at 122. J.L. Skinner from Boise State.
Ooh, that's...
If he can still see on a green field.
Yeah.
Blake Freeland, the offensive tackle, kind of fallen a little bit here.
Yeah.
Jair Brown from Penn State, like that. Jaden Reed's still here if you wanted to double up on wide receiver, which would be kind of a pro move by you guys. Zach Evans is kind of your he's honestly Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
Carl Brooks is a decent inside guy. A lot of good guys fallen in this draft. Byron Young from Alabama. There's actually 2 Byron Youngs in this draft, and they both played similar positions. One's from Alabama. I don't remember where the other guy's from. But what are you thinking here?
I am thinking of Blake Freeland. The Chiefs have lost a few tackle guys, although we've got some depth, but we need to add more to it at the moment. And he's 6'7".
Big guy.
He has some problems. He does. But he's good at swinging out, moving and tackling, which you could use him in those specific circumstances pretty early on. And I think you could give him a season or 2 to develop without having to be the guy.
Yeah.
And I think he's a good chance to take because, again, we've lost 2 of our starters on the line with Orlando Brown and Andrew Riley.
Yeah.
So we do need to add some more depth into it. And since he's fallen, might as well take him.
Yeah, there's mocks where they have him in the 2nd round. So getting in here at 122 is a really nice steal. I like that for you guys. Good pick. All right, we got Carolina here at 132, it looks like. We still got Zach Evans on the board, kind of a scat back kind of guy. We've got Xavier Hutchinson, again, kind of a jumbo slot guy. He's got some decent traits there. Zach Kuntz still on the board.
Hey.
Do you dare go another round without adding to Hayden Hurst there, my guy?
Well, that's the thing. Like we signed Tommy Tremble a few years back from Notre Dame, and he's definitely more of a block first tight end. He's not a true threat in terms of what the tight end position has morphed into. I'd say he's more your traditional, hand in the dirt, move bodies, pass block, run block. I wouldn't say he's limited in his routes, but we just haven't used him that way. So, and I think obviously Hayden Hurst will be we brought him up for a reason. He's going to start. So I wouldn't be opposed to bringing another tight end in. I think it could be good.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, I don't know a ton about the tight ends outside of like the really first 2 round guys. So
yeah. I like Zach Kuntz for you guys. That would be a nice little pickup. Xavier Hutchinson, you to pair with CJ Stroud would be a nice little addition. Kind of a guy that he's kind of like Juju. You know, he's a slot guy mainly, but you can put him outside. He's like 6'2", I think, or something like that. Yeah. He's not a burner, but he's fast. Yeah. And he, Iowa State's not really known for wide receivers, but they got a good one this year. Yeah. And this is about where he ought to go anyways, is this late 4th round, mid 4th round. Some of them I've seen him as high as the 3rd round, as low as the 5th round. Yeah. But I like Xavier Hutchinson for you guys. If you wanted to add a little bit more oomph to your running back room, you could go Chase Brown, but you already got Jahmyr Gibbs, so that wouldn't wouldn't make a lot of sense.
What's the who's available at edge?
Edge, it's a good question. Let's see here. A lot of the edge guys are kind of gone at this point.
Yeah. Nick Hampton from App State. I actually do. I have some familiarity from afar. Not obviously anything close, but that's a name who, being an App State fan, having family ties to that university, got to see him play. He'd be a good guy to add to the edge. Another North Carolina, he's in the state obviously just for school, so that could be intriguing. So I think that might be.
You do have 145 here, so
and I think the Nick Hampton pick might be a reach. Yeah, at this pick, so I think what Carolina, if this were to shake out this way, I wouldn't be surprised if they take. Tight end from ODU, Kuntz.
Okay, Kuntz.
Yeah, Kuntz, right?
I like Zach Kuntz.
Yeah, so we'll see. Like you said, we saw him play in person. He's a freak. Yeah, I think he can develop under Hayden Hurst if that's the route they wanted to go. Yeah, and hopefully have a long-term guy there. So I think that's just another guy that they can develop because picking at what is it one.
It was 130.
Yeah, you're not really expected to come in and have a day one impact. So I think
he would.
I think he would too.
Yeah, I think he would. Basically a jumbo receiver for you guys.
Yeah, if nothing else, he might be a good jump ball, red zone. Yeah, just mismatch if you get him in the slot. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see what that offense does and what it looks like. But
I like the idea of Kuntz being Kuntz being a thing for you guys at the home games.
Yep.
So KC and New England actually are back to back here. So for KC, where are we going here?
Who do the Patriots want?
I don't know. I think. I don't remember if we took a running back or not.
Well, that's funny because I was actually just thinking about taking a running back. There's quite a few available.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Chase Brown.
You're taking Chase Brown. Okay.
A little bit risky because he's a fumbler.
Yeah.
But he's a change of back. We only have Isaiah Pacheco, so it would fit into that because he doesn't have to see the field every single play.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits that system.
Excellent. I'm going to say reject all this. Reject. Wow, everybody wanted my pick. Noah Sewell's kind of an idea here. I kind of like that idea. We did just get Adrian Clem, offensive tackle, offensive line coach from Oregon. So he would have some stuff on Noah Sewell. But man, I want to put somebody to pair with Ramondre. We did get James Robinson, but his contract kind of screams if you make it out of camp, we'll keep you around.
Yeah.
So I'm going Sean Tucker here.
Okay.
Kind of an all-around guy, a little bit smaller than Ramondre, so a change of pace back. And we're kind of banking on our pick from last year, Pierre Strong being our speed / receiving back. So I'm going Sean Tucker here. I don't remember where you guys picked next. I think
Carolina's next.
Carolina's next. You got, this is what, as of right now, would be your last pick. It's 145 in the 5th round. It may behoove you guys to trade down and get a couple more assets. There's some players still available here if you want to pick. But what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm thinking they trade out of this spot and try to recuperate some capital for next season, just to have a little bit more leverage going into next year. You know, you can't really think of the NFL as a one isolation. You know, 1 year at a time. You kind of have to think.
Well, you know who has a lot of picks?
Kansas City.
Kansas City has a bunch of picks, especially now.
Yeah.
So obviously, you got the Panthers.
Yeah.
So for that pick, let's think here, because we're only talking about a 5th rounder. But
5th round is one of the longest rounds in the draft, though.
Well, yeah, no, I know.
I would think Carolina would want to double up here, get 2 for 1.
Yeah, you get 2 for 1.
You definitely want to recuperate, even if it's just.
So I think you could trade one of the 5ths and then one of the 7ths.
That's what I was thinking. They go for a 5th and a 7th, just to have a little bit more on the board in terms of what they might be able to offer next year, or keep trading, because they
drop the 7th down.
The GM has been known to do that. They've been known to shake it up in the draft.
You know what? No deal. The algorithm says it's true. If the computer gods don't allow us to trade, you know.
Oh, here we go. Interdivision.
Oh,
that would be kind of spicy, wouldn't it? Ooh. There we go. Two 5ths, 2 late 5ths for an early.
And a 20. Is that what they're saying? 2024 round 6 or what?
Yeah, I guess so.
Try it.
Yeah, it says it will. So you get a decent amount.
Yeah, and I don't know when everybody else picks,
it's
but
a while, yeah.
New England is going to trade up here.
Oh.
New England is going to trade with San Francisco really quick here. We are going to trade 2 of our 6ths for... Wait, who is it? San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco just picked, it looks like, so Bengals.
Oh, the Bengals?
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one's up.
Cincinnati. 2. I don't think it's them. It's the Saints.
Saints. Yeah, sorry.
No worries. And 5/165. Do they need to give up a 7th as well?
And another 2024.
This is broken.
They don't know how to handle late round draft picks.
No, I guess not. I'm gonna let it play and
risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, I'm not worried about my guy getting picked. I'm just doing what New England would do.
Well, tell me what your guy is, and I can make sure he's safe in Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a punter.
Yeah. Oh,
a kicker. I was gonna take a kicker.
I guess the Chiefs don't really need that. So Trey Palmer's on the board.
He is, and that the fastest wide receiver in the combine,
which would be kind of a fun one to pick, just for the memes. Yeah, just exactly. Get another fast guy. I think we do that.
Okay,
just build in more depth
for sure. And we got Carolina up at 175.
Let me see here. He's got all we have here.
Jalen Jones is a great. He would be gone. He will be gone. I'll tell you that right now. He will be gone. Jacorian Bennett could be there. He's another fast corner from Maryland. Both the Maryland guys are good. A lot of people like I forget how to pronounce his name, but I am out on him. I don't like him very much. Could go edge guy from TCU.
Yeah, I think we go edge here and just it's a late round guy. You're kind of hoping for the best, not really expecting much. But again, I think you add another guy to your defense and hope he can give you some meaningful reps. So
for sure,
you're the edge guy from TCU.
I was going to trade, but I'm not going to. I have a. If you want to know how I would trade, I have on my community tab. I have an all offense and an all defense mock draft, and I got trades up in both of them into the 5th round. So you all, if you're watching or listening, you can go and look at that and how I would go about that. Kansas City picks again here. We actually have 2 back-to-back, Kansas City and then Carolina.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a corner.
Okay.
Jacorian Bennett.
From Maryland, okay.
Yeah, just take him. We just need more depth. Like, you can never have enough corners. Like, you just can't.
That's true.
So,
you want to fleece a 4th round pick from Tampa Bay for next year and then a 6th rounder for this year?
Yeah, I think so. At this point, you're if the draft were to shake out this way, you're satisfied. I think Carolina's looking kind of ahead now at this point, trying to recuperate some of the things that they've leveraged in years to come, try to get some of that back. So yeah, I think they would entertain that.
All right, so here's your pick now. Let's see. You got an interior offensive lineman, Nick Broker. Let's see. Josh Wiles, okay. I like Mike Morris. I don't know what your kicking situation's like, but Jake Moody
he's good. They re-signed their guy.
Terrell Smith's another good corner from Minnesota. Cameron Latu's still on the board. I know you guys got Zach Kuntz already. Trying to think of other guys here. Let's see. What did you pick a wide receiver yet? You did not.
No. See who's available. I mean, I'm sure it's super slim pickings here this late, but you never know.
Bryce Ford Wheaton's a big guy. Rakeem Jarrett's kind of like a Curtis Samuel type for you guys. Ronnie Bell is a good slot guy. I would assume Demario Douglas is still on the board. We've seen him in person as well. We know he's an underrated dog. If it was me picking for you guys, though, Rakeem Jarrett adds a lot of speed to your offense. He's a beast. And Bryce Ford Wheaton is like the opposite guy. Yeah. He's kind of like your Bryce Ford Wheaton is like a DK Metcalf light. He's kind of a big guy, a decent route runner, but a lot of the Patriots beat writers really like him. Yeah. I'm not huge into him, but at this point in the draft, I wouldn't mind him.
Yeah, and I think you go wide receiver here, and you hope something hits. I mean, they do have Terrace Marshall still on that roster. I think he should have a bigger role. The wide receiver from that LSU Dream Team a couple years back, who's shown really good flashes of being a potential guy in the league. I just don't think he's had the opportunity, so I like to see him get more involved. But yeah, I think you just add more more weapons and hope one hits. You're just throwing a lot at the wall and hoping something sticks at this point, I think. So I think you go wide receiver.
Okay. Do you take? Do you want the speed or do you want the size?
I want the speed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the trend in the league. And, they say speed kills.
It does.
You can't teach speed. So I think you go speed there.
Excellent. Well, I'm taking the next guy for us, Jake Moody, and I'm doubling up on this. I'm going Michael Turk.
Oh,
I'm speed running this a little bit, and we got another. We
got all your picks here.
All my picks here. All right, let's see.
You get another punter.
Yeah, double up on punter, right?
You're a
Gotta
long
get the
snapper?
depth.
Yeah, we do. We got the best long snapper in the league.
I don't know. JJ Jansen, longest career tenured Panther. We re-signed him. He's a dog.
I know he is.
We'll see.
Yeah, our guy's a Navy guy. So.
I respect. Shout out.
We could go Ronnie Hickman here from Ohio State. That would be kind of a nice little deal.
Yeah.
The Ohio State.
The Ohio State. OH.
IO.
I'm gonna pique your interest here, LB. I'm going Nick Hampton.
All right.
I'm taking an edge guy, round edge guy. That's something that Mr. Belichick is kind of known for, taking a late round flyer on someone like that.
Yep.
And of course, Appalachian State's one of those schools that nobody thinks of, but Bill Belichick. So we'll go ahead and go Nick Hampton edge.
Yeah. He's a good athlete, good size. Obviously, he's not a Power 5 guy, so that obviously is one of the reasons why he's definitely a later round guy. He's no first round by any means, but he's definitely someone who could come in and have an impact and be a starter, if not a rotation guy, and have a good career. So I would not be surprised for the old Nick Hampton pick to work out.
Yeah. And it's the Patriots pick again.
Yeah. There's a running joke on this show that I watched that Stetson Bennett's going to be a 4th round pick.
Yeah, is he still on the board?
Yeah.
Oh.
He'll get drafted.
Yeah. Did DeMario get picked? I was going to take DeMario Douglas.
Hey, looks like it. Wait, go down.
The secret of the draft is out.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No, he's still here.
Yeah, there he is.
I think I'm going to take him.
Go for it.
I think I'm going to take him. Another slot guy in New England. We're not good at developing the big guys, but
your slot guys are studs.
Troy Brown does a good job with them. I forget our other guy that we've had there for a little bit. Douglas is his last name, I think. So we got the Douglas duo now down there, and probably the best kept secret of this draft. If you look at DeMario Douglas's percentile on his especially on like the jumps, like the verticals and the broad jumps and stuff like that, like he was 3rd and 4th, and he's one of those smaller guys in the draft. So really impressive guy, undersized, quick, makes people miss.
Yeah, hard to tackle.
Yeah.
Very hard, very shifty.
Yeah.
Yards after the catch, possession guy. I mean, a mismatched nightmare for slot guys, especially if you get them on a linebacker. I mean, it's unfair at that point. So.
Yeah, and we worked with them at the Shrine Bowl, so we have some personal experience with there. The New England's coaching staff had firsthand experience with him, and we didn't let him play in the game because we didn't want to show him off.
Yeah.
So I think here in the 6th round, I think we take a little steal from there.
Yep.
Plus the DeMario movie was good. So.
Yeah. Now we got Kansas City here.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
We don't really need wide receiver since we've already picked a couple. In all honesty, Ronnie Hickman.
Yeah,
Get some secondary in there.
Yeah, that's a big fall for him too.
Yeah.
That's crazy that he's still available. Your draft, the simulator here loves Hound Dog's draft. They don't like mine very much.
No, see, because
They gave me a D+ for Michael Turk. What the heck?
What?
And for DeMario.
What's mine looking at right now? Where will we sit? Will it say at the end when we're done?
Yeah,
we're almost done.
Your lowest is a B.
This is good.
Sign me up, Carolina. Hey, get me down there. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So let's see. The Patriots, is this your last pick or you got one more after
No, this is our last pick. Usually with these picks, we either take an interior offensive lineman Or we take something out like
just
a flyer on something. We love cornerback in this. We've taken defensive linemen on the back end before. I'm going to respect the board here and say Cam Jones isn't available here at 245. But let's see. Let's look at interior offensive linemen. Here we go. Let's see if I recognize any of this. Antonio Mafi from UCLA. That's a guy that I've heard some good things about. I can go Cooper Hodges from Appalachian State to double up on the Appalachian.
Let me see.
Yeah, he's rated real low.
Yeah, they had a guy get drafted a lineman a couple years ago. I think he's still in the league starting.
Is he?
Yeah. I think he's a left tackle if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take Antonio Mafi. John Gaines is his running mate here, both from UCLA. But I just have a feeling it's one of those things where they were doing film on John Gaines and then they saw Antonio Mafi and ended up liking him better. New England tends to do that a lot and leaves the better guy on the board, and then that guy beats him in the game that year. So we're going Antonio Mafi here. Now we got back-to-back Kansas City picks, and then I think we're done here.
So first is going to be Earl Bostic. It's just because he's from Kansas.
Okay.
University. Got to get a local guy in there. And at this point, the talent's basically all the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then at this point, again, we don't really need a wide receiver. We'll have a crowded wide receiver class already. We've already got a safety. Maybe a little bit of a... Let's do Robert Beal Jr. That'd be funny because if there's one thing that Steve Spagnuolo, our defensive coordinator, likes, it's as many edges as he can. Yeah. So we're just going to add in more depth in there.
And you can't possibly miss on a draft of anybody on that Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah.
I should say Bulldogs. Defense. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here and see what it says. The no punt intended draft.
Yeah.
I don't care how much he got paid. All right, so...
Should we read off the grades of each individual
they have
player
somewhere.
and see overall?
Well, it doesn't look like it's giving us the grades here, but it liked all yours, so you don't... The only B you got was for Henry To'o.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was it. But I think that was only because there was a couple other linebackers that were available.
Yeah, so just do a run through right quick?
I'll go ahead and read them off here real quick. We got...
this is for the Carolina Panthers, by the way.
Yep. So for LB's Carolina Panthers, number 1 overall was C.J. Stroud. Followed by Jahmyr Gibbs at pick 39. Pick 93 in the third round was Henry To'o, so doubling up at Alabama here. Yeah. We got Q Blue Kelly, slot corner from Stanford at 114. Zach Kuntz at 132, Old Dominion tight end. Dylan Horton from TCU. 175 edge, and then Raheem Jarrett, a speedy wide receiver, kind of a gadget guy, to add to their already gadget-loving offense. If there's anything you guys are known for, it's when you guys were in your prime when you could mix and match McCaffrey, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, and Greg Olsen all together to make all kinds of funny plays. Yeah. I like the idea of Jahmyr Gibbs and Raheem Jarrett in the backfield together, and then going back and forth between the slot. That's a nice little thing. Yeah. Are you happy with what you got?
Yeah. If this shook out this way, all things considered, I personally can't complain. I know Carolina fans might not feel the same way at number 1, but like I said, I'm just not sold on Bryce's Young stature. The height doesn't bother me. Quite honestly, the way the game is now, I think height's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. But your toughness, your durability, that'll always be a thing. Yeah. And for me, you've put so much on the line with this first overall pick that you have to make sure that you can do everything in your power to make sure that hits. And for me, the talent difference between C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, I think they're basically identical in terms of their football ability. I just like C.J. Stroud's physical tools. He can use his legs. He's athletic. He's a bigger guy. He's competitive. He played in big games. Obviously, he didn't play in the SEC like Bryce, but I think he can translate well. I think that is a less riskier pick in just terms of your longevity.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a big thing for me, just because you've shipped everybody out of town. This is you're getting your guy at number one, whether that's Bryce or it's CJ. For me, it'd be CJ. And so I think for that reason, he's a safe pick in terms of, I think the risk of him getting hurt is a lot less. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but that's really what tipped me in favor of Stroud over Bryce.
Yeah, my favorite pick in your draft has got to be Jahmyr Gibson, this top of the second round. I really like that pick a lot. All right, let's go to Mr. Hounds here. Yeah. We got Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah, with the last pick in the first round. Pick 63, edge Derek Hall. Then he went Tank Dell with number 95. Was going to be late first round guy, then ran the 40 at the combine. Blake Freeland fell a little bit to him at 122. Chase Brown, fumble problems, no problem at all. Trey Palmer, fastest wide receiver in the draft,
at 166. Like Dell didn't do well on his 40, but we got the other guy who did. So
there you go.
One of them will work out.
Yeah,
PEMDAS cancels each other out.
Yeah, there you go. Jacorian Bennett, Maryland, another fast guy to kind of reinforce the very young secondary you guys have.
Yep.
Ronnie Hickman from Ohio State, another decent safety for you guys. Earl Bostic, never heard of him, but he's from Kansas.
He's from Kansas, yeah.
And you just plucked a late round guy from Georgia just because. Yes.
We
love to see it. So out of this, I really like the idea of Dalton Kincaid. I think even though that was your first round pick and that was probably the easiest pick for you to make, I think your reasoning for why you picked him was probably my favorite reason.
I think that would be, I would love that pick. It's probably might be my favorite pick if the Chiefs did it. And it would give the Chiefs such a unique play set. I don't know if there'd be any other team you could compare that to, because most teams have two good wide receivers, but having two good tight ends, at that level, you haven't heard of it. There's been two starter level tight ends on teams, like the Chargers had it with Antonio Gates and Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
But this would be at an extremely different level, and I don't know if any team would be prepared to defend against that, since everyone's trying to defend against speed and wide receivers, and that's how they structured their defenses. Going back to tight ends all of a sudden would make it so much more difficult.
It seems more like a New England reasoning for a lot of your stuff, so that might be why I like you. Kincaid. I do think the one thing you're missing though from him is blocking.
Oh yeah,
and Kelsey's gotten immensely better during his time in the league.
Now he's pretty average. For tight ends,
But that's where you're at. And I didn't disappoint with my Oklahoma Sooner.
Oh, no.
I picked three of them things. I got Anton Harrison at 18, traded down from 14, offensive tackle, going to be a left tackle for us. Tyreek Stevenson at 46, Marvin Mims, wide receiver at 67, Jordan Battle at 81, which I picked up 81 in the trade down.
I think it'd be a great pick.
Yeah. I like, we got Luke Schoonmaker at tight end from Michigan, Sean Tucker from Syracuse, running back. Honestly, Jake Moody would probably be gone at 184. So if you're complaining about that, then just take the 210 pick, which was Demario Douglas, and the 184 pick, which was Jake Moody, trade them up in the fifth round, and that's what I would have ended up with. Michael Turk, punter from Oklahoma. There's a Stanford guy I really like as well, but I think Michael Turk is a pick here, another Shrine Bowl guy. Nick Hampton to wet the chops of LB over here.
Grease my gears.
Yeah. Demario Douglas at 210, wide receiver from the Liberty University.
LU, go Flames.
Yes, sir. And then Antonio Mafi from UCLA, interior offensive lineman. My favorite pick from this is tough because I really am not. Some of this is worst case scenario, first round especially.
Yeah.
I'd kind of hope for a Joey Porter. I'd kind of hope for one of the top three tackles, preferably Broderick Jones or Paris Johnson from Ohio State.
Massive human beings.
Yeah. Just somebody to just pair with whether you put them on the left or right side, if you put them on the left side, then that means you got Mike Onwenu and Trent Brown on the right side blocking for Ron J. Stevenson. And that sounds like a train wreck waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So I think of this, I think my favorite pick of this whole thing, believe it or not, is Jake Moody.
Yeah.
I know people.
Kickers are weapons, man. They win or lose games. Obviously it's a team sport. It's deeper than that. But you get the picture of the last second kick type of thing.
Yeah.
If you have confidence in your guy, which the Patriots have always had. I mean, take it back to the Super Bowl when Vinatieri broke 6-year-old LB's heart back in the day, whatever it was. Just ripped the happiness away from me in the Super Bowl. So, it happens there.
Fun fact, I was not a Patriots fan back then because I didn't understand what football was.
Well, I can assure you, I felt my pain in what would have been your enjoyment all in one. So,
well, I felt my pain in 2007 and 2011, trust me. So.
Yeah, I felt it Super Bowl 50. Kotri caught it, by the way. I'm not sure the game wasn't rigged.
We don't need to talk about any holding calls, do we, Mr. Hound?
No. Everyone gets holding calls.
2 grabs, right? He did 2 things.
It's 2 things.
Yeah. All right. Well, any last thoughts, guys? I really appreciate you all doing this with me. This has been fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to take screenshots of these and send them to you guys. I'm going to post them. Once this video posts, I'm going to post the entirety of the mock drafts on my community board so everybody can look at it. But any last thoughts or anything like that? Any shout outs?
Yeah, so I would just like the audience to know that we all have insider sources of all these teams. So all of our picks are based on the actual knowledge of these teams. And this is probably going to happen. Like, we probably just spoiled the 2023 NFL draft. So I apologize for that. And I'm sure we're all sorry for that. But this is exactly how it's going to happen. So, you know what? I'm not sorry.
I tell you what, if they take CJ Stroud and run, anybody who's watched this video is going to look good, come back. My comment section is going to be crazy.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, if it's me making the decision, that's who I'm taking out one. Obviously, if we take Bryce, I hope that he succeeds and that we have a 10-year starter. I won't lie, I'm skeptical of that. Just like I would be skeptical of anybody take out one. I mean, and I don't know if a quarterback in this draft class is the solidified number 1 overall pick. I don't know if they're head and shoulders above any other player in this draft, but I think the unique position Carolina is in, one that they just traded away basically everything to get there, that you have to take a quarterback at 1, and trading out of that pick doesn't make any sense because you can't get any assets back for it, especially this late in the game, just basically a week before the draft. So I think they're taking a quarterback at 1. I hope it's Stroud for the reasons I've said here. I think he's just got a better chance of being durable and have a longer career. If they take Bryce, wish him nothing but the best. And if they do take Bryce, and if they take, I think that makes them more likely to take Jahmyr Gibbs.
I agree.
The second pick they have, which would be a nice little duo. Again, talking about having some security for your incoming rookie quarterback, having a guy in the backfield that he played with in college, playing big-time games, both SEC guys. You can kind of replace McCaffrey, although you really, you can't replace a guy like that, but you can somewhat replace his production with Miles Sanders and Jahmyr Gibbs. Having Terrace Marshall on the outside, get him some looks. DJ Chark, Adam Thielen on the slot, Hayden Hurst. I mean, if that's the case, look, I think they're going to be competitive. I'm not saying they're going to win 10, 11 games, but I think 9 games might win that division. You go 9-8. I think you have a really good shot at getting in the playoffs, and that would be a success. I mean, shoot, maybe 8-9 gets you in. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. I mean, they won the division a couple years ago with a losing record. I think they went 7-8-1, won the division, got into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So who knows? NFC South's interesting. No one cares because it's kind of dog crap. Can't blame them. Obviously, I pay attention to it because I'm a Panthers fan. So we'll see. I think 9-8 get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Draft CJ Stroud. I'll be super happy. So that's just my thoughts.
My thoughts is the Chiefs beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl. That's my other bold prediction.
What am I, chopped liver?
Yeah, no. See, the Patriots aren't even going to go to the playoffs. I mean,
that would be.
They're going to have the best punts. Don't get me wrong. You'll have the best, most beautiful punts. Of anyone in the league. But no, it's going to be Chiefs, Panthers, And then C.J. Stroud fumbles the football and just walks the other direction. No one knows why. And so
I'll just wrap my point up. I think my bold prediction, personally, regardless of who they take at 1, is that Carolina wins the division and makes it the playoffs.
Ooh, there you go.
That's my bold prediction.
There you go.
I
can see it.
All right. Well, I'm putting you a little bit on the spot, Hound. If you could have anybody at 31, anybody.
Anybody.
About the equivalent of having the first round pick.
Yeah.
The first overall pick. Who are you taking? Your dream scenario. This player falls to you.
Gotta say, Will Levis, you gotta have that. No, that's tough. In all honesty, like in realistic terms, Dalton Kincaid was what I was really hoping for. But in all honesty,
I mean, that's a solid pick at 31.
In all honesty, though, Jackson Smith, I can't pronounce his second.
Njigba, yeah.
Like just having basically the top wide receiver to add on to, I think that would be.
He's a beast. I love him to death. There's a bunch of New England fans that want him in New England. I think he's really redundant to Juju. And we've lost Juju, so that helps kind of fill in that role. Yeah.
So
for me, it's Christian Gonzalez. I think he's a lockdown corner. I think it's funny. Matt Grove, who's our chief of player personnel. Had a media day a couple days ago, and somebody asked him about Sauce Gardner and the corners of this draft and how they compare. And in his words, he ranks multiple guys in this draft as Sauce Gardner-esque. And if you know anything about that Jets team, only reason they won games last year is because there was a defense of dogs. So I think Christian Gonzalez is far and away the best corner in this draft. I think adding him to this group of corners already with Jonathan Jones rotating between outside corner and safety most likely. The Jones brothers, the other Jones brothers.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on their first names. Jack Jones and our slot Jones. I'm blanking on his name.
John.
No, it's not John. That's the other one. I want to say Cyrus, but it's not Cyrus. That's the bot from Alabama. That's on the practice squad for the Ravens right now.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Marcus Jones, our punt returner. Single-handedly beat the New York Jets last year.
Yep.
And then I like our cornerback room if we add somebody I'd love Joey Porter as well.
Yep.
But he's a lot more realistic. But I think Christian Gonzalez is a top 5 player in this draft.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see him come in and win a couple more bowls for the boys.
Yeah.
But I think this has been really productive. I've had a really good time.
If any Patriots, Chiefs, or Panthers of team officials are listening to us right now, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've laid out the groundwork.
This is how your teams will succeed.
Yeah.
But you must follow our draft picks.
Yes.
Yeah. Get on YouTube. Go down the rabbit holes. Find this. I mean, shoot. I'm gonna toot my own horn here. I get my lowest rated guy was a B.
Yeah.
I think my average is probably A-.
Yeah.
We'll see. Carolina, don't look at my Twitter feed because I have definitely roasted you in the past. I have definitely, been brutally honest. Definitely lobbed some memes.
Yeah.
Definitely when Matt Rule was there. I'm not gonna lie. Even Riverboat Ron, over in Washington Commanders, but no hard feelings. I'm just a passionate Panthers fan. I'm open to work. Just hit me up.
Yeah, I know LB is a local boy over there. So if you need scouts, if you need anything, I know he'll work for you.
Yeah.
He'll work for you in a second.
Yeah.
We got the Thinking Hound here. Thank you very much for joining me here and for lending some of your equipment. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh yeah, no problem. Make sure to include my MySpace in the description. My MySpace, my Tumblr, my
Facebook Marketplace,
my Google Hangout.
we'll have all his credentials and stuff in the description. Put your comments. I'd love for you guys to roast us.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Roast the other two.
Yeah.
Be nice to me.
We get into some comment roast back and forth.
Yeah.
Tell me how much of a moron I am.
Yeah, we'd love to see it.
My draft grades would say otherwise.
I'm just an angel. So.
Otherwise, thanks for joining us at the No Punt Intended podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a blessed day. And hit us up at the draft, man.